Hey everybody, so today's topic is talking about, is the After movie a flop? Because one of the things that I keep seeing on social media from people who just outright hated the film, and these are even fans of the book who kind of want to bring the film down and talk about how much of a flop the movie is. Now, if you're talking about in terms of quality, that is not the same as in terms of the box office. So, in terms of box office, this film is not a flop in any way, shape, or form. Even in terms of quality, this film is not a flop in any way, shape, or form because you still have two amazing actors in Josephine Langford and Hero Fiennes Tiffin who played the roles to the best of their abilities, who did the best with what they could because again, you got to blame the director, you got to blame the script. Because again, if you do not have an amazing script, if you don't have a director there, then there's not much an actor can do. I mean, I can speak as an actor, I mean, somebody who's been on the stage. We need direction, to be honest with you. The people just can't just, throw us out on stage and say, go. Yeah, no, we need direction. We need a script behind us. Because even the best actors, if they don't have a script there, I mean, they can't do anything with it. So, yeah, in terms of the box office, because that's what this video is mainly talking about, because I am seeing people call this film a flop. It's not, in any way, shape, or form. The budget was only $14 million. It's made $55.8 million at the box office so far. I imagine that number is a little bit higher when you add in overseas as well, because I don't think they've added in the overseas numbers yet for this weekend. But yeah, it's made $11.9 million here in the US and $43.8 million overseas, maybe even a little bit more when you factor in, this weekend's box office in terms of overseas. Now, here's why that this film is not a flop. Because to be a flop, you have to not even make your budget back. That's what a flop is when you can't even make back your budget. Now, if people are looking at this and saying, oh, but the domestic only made $11.9 million, it didn't even make $14 million here in the US, well, that doesn't matter, to be honest with you. Because if studios only looked at the domestic box office, there are plenty of films out there that would be considered flops. There are plenty of films out there that never would have gotten a sequel in the first place. I mean, we got a my tongue's getting a little tied here. We got a Pacific Rim sequel because of the overseas box office. In terms of like a lot of the big blockbusters, it is overseas that why we get sequels to like a lot of these big blockbuster movies. In terms of the Avengers, that film is a gigantic success also because of overseas. Because let's face it, that film, all right, I know that a lot of people are praising it right now, and again, I am praising it too. I mean, this is insane what they've been able to do this fast. But to be honest with you, in terms of the budget plus the marketing expenses, one thing that people are not talking about a lot with that film is that it needed to make this insane amount of money, just to be a success, because Disney/Marvel spent an insane amount of money on the marketing, and that adds even more to the budget. For After, it doesn't need to make hundreds of millions of dollars to be successful. Would Avrion Pictures, Anna Todd, Jennifer Gibgot, like all these people, would they have wanted, After to be like hundreds of millions of dollars, successful movie? Yes, of course they would. Everybody wants hundreds of millions of dollars. But the fact of the matter is that since they kept the budget low at only $14 million, that means that they don't have to go far to be a success. And also, guess what, fans? Because you know what? Do you want to hear a harsh truth here? If they made hundreds of millions of dollars, you know what the studio could have said? Instead of sitting here and saying, okay, we're going to make changes, we're going to let go Jenny Gage. Jenny Gage is not going to come back for the sequel. We're going to let Anna Todd and another screenwriter take over the script. We're going to make it more closer to the book. we're going to make changes. Do you know what would have happened if this thing would have been like hundreds of millions of dollars? Do you know what the studio could have said, and I would actually have to sit here and defend their decision? They could say, oh, fuck the fans. They were not going to like this no matter what we did anyway. So you know what? Fuck them. We got the general audience. We don't even have to worry about the fans. But because this movie only made about 55.8, I know it's coming out on the Philippines on May 8th. It will be out in Germany on June 7th. So this film will even go a little bit even higher. Now they have to look at it and say, we need the fans. The fans are what matter. And you know what? We screwed up, because we did more to alienate the fans on this first movie than I think I've ever seen before ever done with a movie. I mean, I think that they've done more to alienate the fans. But I want to talk about the fans who just keep constantly shitting on this movie, trying to say that this is just like a complete flop. It isn't. In terms of the box office, it is not a flop any way, shape, or form. When you use the word flop, that has the specific connotation of being about a box office, about what kind of money it makes. And anybody who tells you it's a flop is clearly has no idea what they're talking about. I'm just going to tell you that harsh truth, that they don't know what they're talking about if they try to say, oh, this film, this thing didn't make hundreds of millions of dollars. It's a disaster. No, this is not a disaster. This is not a flop. Because again, and this is one of the best decisions that they made on the first one, which is why I am saying that they need to continue this, is that they need to keep the budget low. They do not need to explode the budget on the sequels. Because right now I think they're only talking about doing like 3 films. So I don't know like how that's going to work, because I think there's like 4 or 5 books. Hang on, give me a second. 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, 4 books in terms of like the official thing, and then we got like the prequel or the Hardin's Point of View book. We got a couple of others, but yeah, 4 books in general. So yeah, but there's only going to be like 3 movies. So yeah, we'll see where they go from here. But again, this video was mainly trying to tell you guys, hey, stop calling this film a flop. And for all the fans who are like, hey, you pissed me off with the first one, let me tell you something, because again, I am reading through these books, and let me tell you this, if they were to do a line by line, page by page translation, we would never have seen this film in a theater. You would have had to go to a porn store to buy the film. You would have to go to an adult store to buy the film. Because to completely translate it would have to be a porn. Because guess what? There are countless sex scenes in this thing that are pornographic. That if you were to translate those sex scenes into like a line by line, thing, then guess what? They would have to. I mean, it would be porn. To be honest with you, we would not even be able to see this film in a multiplex. We would not even get this film in the theaters. It would have to be in an adult store. Another thing is that before you completely shut this film out, before you completely shut off the sequels from your mind, because again, I get it. You're pissed. I'm pissed that they screwed with the first one. But you know what? You know what I'm seeing? Because this is such a rarity in Hollywood, is for it to be very much apparent that they understand that they screwed up, that they understand where they went wrong. So they're doing everything in their power to fix it. They took Jenny Gage off the project. They let Anna Todd, the author, actually write the script, actually work on the script with an unnamed male screenwriter. Jennifer Gibgot said that she and Anna Todd are taking more control of the script, that they're going to make it closer to the books, that they're going to go back to the books and make this thing more closer to the books, which I do have some feelings about that, and I will talk about that once this thing actually gets officially greenlit. But it actually appears because they are doing something that you just never see in Hollywood, which is for them to tap out and admit, hey, we screwed up. Hey, I know that you're angry at us, but please don't give up on us yet. We're doing everything in our power to fix this. So yeah, this film, like I said, just to wrap up here, this film is not a flop in any way, shape, or form. It's made back its budget. It's made double its budget. I think we're up to about 4 times its budget now. It's going to go even higher once the Philippines opens, once Germany opens on June 7th. If they ever get it in the UK, I know if you guys are in the UK watching this, I know that you guys still have not gotten this film at all. I know that you guys don't even have like a date or any even information on this thing. But yes, do not call this a flop. It is not a flop in any way, shape, or form in terms of the box office. If you want to talk about the quality of the film, that's a separate issue. But again, when you use the word flop, you are talking about the box office. That is what most people think you are talking about when you use the word flop. And in terms of money, this film is not a flop in any way, shape, or form because, like I just said, it made back its budget, it made double its budget, it's now up to 4 times its budget, and it is Averion Pictures' highest grossing film to date. So not only has it beaten a film with Halle Berry, it beat a film with what's their faces? Anne Hathaway and Matthew McConaughey that came out earlier this year. There's another film that they got coming out later in about a month or two where I can almost guarantee you that this film is going to make more money than that film. In terms of, now before you guys look it up, let me just be clear here. This is from total grosses, all right, from both overseas and in the U.S., all right? Because this still has, well, fortunately, it's not going to hit. But if they only look at domestic, then no, it's not going to be their highest grossing. But again, I'm pretty sure that no studio just looks at domestic. They look at the overall picture. They look at everything. Because like I said, if studios only looked at domestic, a lot of the times, especially for big movies, like for blockbuster movies, most films would be a disappointment to more than likely sometimes a flop. So jump down to the comment section below. Let me know what you think. As always, thank you so much for watching. Thank you so much for your continued support. Without you guys, this channel would not be growing at the rate that it has been. So I just want to say thank you to my Afternators. For anybody who's been here from the very beginning, don't think I haven't forgotten about you. But yeah, I want to say thank you to everybody for your continued support. If you want to see more, go ahead and click that subscribe button because every day is going to be a daily upload, either some thoughts on, after movie topics, or I am doing a daily upload on after read-throughs. We are now up to After We Collided, so that's still coming. We're still going to keep reading after this entire series from beginning to end, so keep looking forward to that. Keep subscribing, keep liking, keep commenting, and remember, I'll see you later, Afternators. Take care, y'all.